to Celeritas. It's been a long wait, but Celeritas Season 2 begins tonight. My name is Webbo, and I'm going to be taking you through this Division 2 race with my good friend Branch in the comms box with me. Hey, Branch.
Yeah, it's a good time to be back commentating racing once again on the new game, new season, lots of new stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, we're really stoked to get going. Sorry for the delay, everybody. You know how these things work. But we do look to have a good chunk of our regular Division 2 drivers, at least those who are not on wonderful holidays at the moment. But those of our Division 2 who are stuck at home through this summer period for the Northern Hemisphere, they will be getting going pretty soon, and they do have a little advantage, Branch, of getting a couple of races under their belts before the whole field arrives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see what is in store for these Div 2 guys. I haven't really done much practice with any of them, so I don't know what kind of pace they have. Obviously, with the new game, everyone's pace has pretty much changed drastically. Some people have gone up, some people have gone down. So
Yeah.
we'll get to see our first look at that with this race right here.
No, definitely. It's a voyage into the unknown as far as the form book goes. Last year's champion, unfortunately, will not return to race with us in Division 2, so Dittel will not be in Division 2. We have had a few people move around, but the reason that it's not all the same players as before is because we had a completely new evaluation setup branch just to judge people's pace in a brand new game with new setups and everything.
Yeah, it's taken us a little bit to get going, obviously, but I think as the season gets settled, we should be a little better with attendance. Obviously, we only have 13 drivers here today, but you know it is still August, middle of August, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of people are still on vacation, still on holiday, so I think as the season goes on, we'll do a little bit better with that. And obviously, as we get into as we advance past this season, we'll have probably a lot more people.
Yeah, we do. This is the first of a 10 race season, so we have shortened the season a little bit. So of course it does pile the pressure on for every individual race that little bit more. Carrera Fan joins us on YouTube. I don't know if he's going to brave listening along to us. Hopefully he'll be able to focus well enough. But what are the key differences in the Bahrain track this year, Branch, as they pertain to the drivers tonight?
Well, rear tires are definitely a focus for people. The way the setups work on this game have completely changed. You know, rear or downforce in general is just more required in this game than it was last game. There's just less grip available, so a lot of drivers we may see switching to more downforce heavy setups and relinquishing their speed in the straights just so that they can make the corners. Obviously, there are a lot of curbs on this track that you have to be careful of.
Right.
Many of them will send you spinning if you're not careful. So, I think what we're just waiting to see is how many of these drivers can not only just be quick, but also be patient and be smart about where they're putting their car.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. We've definitely seen a lot of drivers disappear out of sessions really early on by being overly aggressive, and this game is definitely set up to reward those drivers who can be patient on those first few laps. I think, Branch, we just lost LOI Fanjo from the session. He just flashed up as a notification on my screen. I don't know if maybe you could have a look at an invite for him.
Yeah, I will look into that. One thing that we do need to talk about with this new game is obviously the fuel, because it is much different from last game.
Yeah.
There is no more lean or rich mixture. You have to just stay in standard the entire race, which requires people to not only set up their fuel accordingly, but they have to make sure they're saving their fuel and not running out before the end of the race.
Yeah, for sure. I know that some people might be well used to, really using that particular lever lever for our American audience, all through the race, and burning off fuel or running lean, particularly during safety car periods. And I've seen people come unstuck already in this new game, under fueling the car almost by habit, expecting safety cars, but not being able to really make much of an adjustment.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My personal strategy is that I will be overfueling my car because, in my opinion, I'd rather finish the race with 2 laps of fuel than finish it with negative 0.3 laps of fuel.
Yeah. Fanjo is on his way back. So brand new to Celeritas for this year will be CDMJW, Fanjo Amaral that we've just mentioned, and riding on board right now with Pali Padur in the Mercedes. He was first out the pits. He's not first on track, Branch, but I'm going to hang with him, I think, and maybe you could talk us through his lap. He's just approaching turn 14 right now.
Yeah,
on the sand at the moment.
Mercedes stablemate of mine, as I have moved to Mercedes. Unfortunately, you couldn't get me the Ferrari seat, but that doesn't matter because we are about to start this lap with Talapadur. He crosses the line, got a pretty good exit out of that last corner, although you don't need a super good exit to get enough speed going down the straight. Very heavy braking, gets the corner pretty right, kind of locked up a bit. The exit of that corner is very difficult, and this curve right here you have to be very careful about. If you're turned too much when you hit it, you will spin. Heading into this corner right here, this curve has been changed a little bit. It's a lot more heavier if you hit it. Good exit out of there into the quick right-left section. Oh, he went really slow through there. There's a lot of speed.
Fourth, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So just not very confident, I assume, at the moment. It's definitely one of the harder sections of this track. Coming up to the hardest section of the track, this corner right here, he locks up the left front very heavily, gets it turned though. I've noticed that a lot of people, in order to make that corner, you almost have to lock it up just to make sure you're slowing down enough.
Right.
Another semi-heavy braking zone, he kind of missed the apex there. It looks like he has a lot more time to make up. Fast right-hander, don't touch this curve right here. It's one of those auto spins into this fairly quick right-hander. He took it pretty well, I would say. This seems more like a banker lap than anything.
Yeah.
He's really not on the edge right here, taking it very cautious. Understandable for his first lap. You know, he's going to cross. Looks like a 1:26.1, so definitely not.
And already faster than Carrera, which, honestly, bit of a surprise, although Carrera, I must note, there is on the medium tyres. Amiral goes into second place with Matt, who I know is watching on the stream as well. Matt goes P2, again on mediums. Looks like some of our more experienced drivers out there, Branch, running mediums in the early stages here.
Yeah, you have to remember that with Bahrain, the one stop is so heavily favored that if you're able to start in the top 10 on medium tires, you are at an extreme advantage to the rest of the field. So,
just watch Lightning just invalidate on the entry curb on the left on turn 14, just trying to extend the track just that little bit too much. And while we saw that happen, Senna went P2 and Quinn returns one of our award winners, Quinn. Go and see the award to find out which award Quinn won. When he goes in P4 at the moment because Wongfi's come through in P3 and we lost Senna from the session.
I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know where that happened. Looks like he actually lost it on track.
It looks like it because it was simultaneous with the yellow flag coming out. Yeah.
So unfortunate for him, but he has set a fairly good banker time. Wouldn't be surprised if that got him top 10, but we'll have to see. I mean, personally, I've been setting low 125s. I even set a 124 once in time trial.
Wow.
So I don't know what kind of pace we're going to see out of the Div 2 guys necessarily.
You're just getting in the heads of your Division 1 drivers right now, aren't you? I know your game. Yeah. I know your game. Waits is on track, though. Let's watch Waitsy, Branch, because he's in the resplendent orange McLaren, and he's going pretty well right now at the moment.
He took that hard braking corner really well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have seen some drivers, some of the really experienced drivers, play with the brake balance on the way into 9, 10, and then readjust on the way out again. Have you tried that?
For this track, I've been using it all over the track, changing my brake bias, all the way from 54 to 62, depending on the corner.
Wow.
So if you're able to get the balance correctly, you can really send it into some of these corners.
So using a rotary dial on your wheel setup there, or you're on a controller, aren't you?
I'm on a controller. I'm using my D-pad.
Wow. That's extreme. Waitsy crosses the line there. P1 straight away, 25.8, just showing the Division 2 drivers what they're missing out on, because Waitsy can't commit to a full season at the moment with work schedules. So he's just going to show up, stick the car on pole, and then not be seen for another few races. I don't know if it's work schedule or if it's just that he doesn't like some of the tracks. We'll have to check in with him later. I noticed Claude Lamar on YouTube is here. He's cheering on someone called Alexandre. I don't know who that is, Claude. You'll have to let me know. I think there's a different pseudonym going on for their PSN. But Senna's watching. He says he almost lost it. No, he did lose it. Yep. And BMW Oosterveer is watching us along as well. So hey to you. Just trying to keep abreast of some of the comments going on. Really glad to have everyone with us.
He's on his first flying lap on a medium.
Oh, sweet.
Checking with him. Get to see his pace, because I've never seen him race before. I know you said you remember him from a different league.
Correct. Yeah.
So, we'll see how quick he really is. And the Ferrari obviously has that pace, has that advantage already. So we'll see what he's able to do with it. As we all know.
Matt asks on the channel there, Branch, he asks, should he stick with mediums, or should we try and get a better grid slot with softs, do you think?
With the way the times are looking right now, especially with CDM putting it ahead of him, you may need to look into the softs, just to make sure you're getting in the top 10. Unless you want to start on those mediums outside the top 10, which is still a very viable strategy.
Right.
No, there's no harm, no foul in that, I would say. Waitsy's out of the session. I don't know if did he. No, it looks like he was in the pits.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag at the same time, though, maybe.
I don't know who that would have been.
No. But yeah, Waitsy may just think, job done. With regard to that one. Senna lost it, turn 6-7, so maybe got one on one of those evil curbs.
Yeah, those curves through 6 and 7 are so unbelievably unforgiving.
And 12, right?
Yeah, and 12. Yeah, if you're able to get through 6 and 7 without touching the curbs, getting the line right, that is so much time you can make up just right there.
Yeah. Amaral going through turn 10 there quite nicely. Seemed to really ride the curb off throttle, carry some speed through. He was a bit late on the throttle, but I think he carried quite a lot of speed across the apex. It's quite sweet.
I'm liking the way he's driving this car, carrying a lot of speed through these corners.
He is. High minimum speeds.
That one, I think he probably could have gotten a little bit more out of that corner, but nonetheless, he looks fairly quick. He set a 127.448, 1,000th behind Matt, who I believe is also out. He took our advice. He's out on soft tires.
Nice. Amaral for the line then. I've definitely seen a purple sector in here, and goes P2. I think that's two purple sectors for him, and yeah, the exact same time. And I was saying on a previous broadcast, this is happening too often for my liking to be a coincidence, Branch, these identical times.
Has it been happening a lot?
I think so. I really do, yeah. It's almost like the game only has maybe, I don't know, a third of the true 1,000th positions. I've just sat on board with Pricey, who goes P3 in the Williams. That was nice. Gets out of the way of the cars behind. I hope he's not going to block that pit exit, but gets out of Carrera fans' way as well. Is Lightning on track, putting in a lap? He is on mediums. I saw him invalidate on turn 14, which is probably the second worst place to invalidate other than turn 1.
Yeah. I think he went out on softs the first time, so he must be changing his qualifying strategy a bit, just trying to make sure he's able to get a time in on these mediums. Either to stay on that time or to push himself a little bit harder later on. We'll have to see.
I've heard that Claude is actually grandfather Carrera.
Ah, okay.
So that's pretty awesome. Grand-père.
I'm not good with my international languages. I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna try and mess up something. Setup. So, Lightning about to cross the line. Goes P8.
Fastest of the medium runners branch. I think he might be quite satisfied with that, especially if he can stay around that P8 position with that lap. Good lap.
We have Fanjo, who's on the mediums right now, going through Sector 2 at the moment, and Pinty is on an outlap on softs. So
okay, you stay with Fanjo. I'm going to hang with Wangfi because he's just gone under his time through approach of turn 11. So purple the middle sector. He's on soft tyres. Looks to be hooking this one up nicely.
He's gotten onto that turn 12 curb that we were talking about.
Wangfi just track extending, had a couple of attempts to get the car into the apex, maybe slightly early, a little eager to get the car turned in, but for AlphaTauri, crosses the line in P4, nice lap from Wangfi.
We're getting some great times here at the front, just less than a tenth separating the top 4 at the moment as Matt goes P6, the 126.1.
Yep.
Carrera, the teammate of Wangfi, in the AlphaTauri, in 7th place, 2 tenths behind Matt. So I don't think he's on a fast lap right now, but he is taking this in lap, if it is an in lap, very quick.
May just be getting some practice in, yeah.
Possibly. Pinty still on his lap.
I don't know. Carrera's just gone a tenth and a half faster through Sector 2 branch, so I think he's on one.
Yeah, he must be. Although I gotta say, running a double stint in qualifying, especially at Bahrain, I don't know how I feel about that. Because if this is his qualifying time, he has to race, and you see he doesn't even move up positions from.
No, but crucially, he did get his fastest time in. So if he doesn't better that, these will be the tyres he starts on. Am I right?
Yeah, and that would be maybe 4 laps of tire life to start the race, which really is just not enough. It's already a 2-stop here in Bahrain, but to have to pit that early, you're really putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Wangfi's gone back through as well, branch. Into
He's
pole.
the fastest. Wow.
25.777.
That's a great lap there.
Really good, but crucially, again, on 2-lap-old softs.
We've seen both AlphaTauris do that. I don't know if that is a team decision or not.
Really interesting. I mean, if you are going to make a team decision about maybe committing to a 2-stop even during qualifying, you may not want to do it with both your drivers.
Yeah, I would have to say that I would agree with that. We see Pinty going across the line in 12th place with a 126.9. I think that was his first time he set today, so
okay.
We'll see if he can improve. 4 minutes left in the session.
Good time to get a banker in, but yeah, really is time to get around there, Pinty, and get a new set of tyres on. Get aggressive out there. Everyone on softs now, branch.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not surprised. You know, it's a good idea to at least experiment with trying to get those mediums to work in your favor, but you know, at a certain point, you just kind of got to throw caution to the wind if you really want to get up there.
But if we've got 13 runners, doesn't that bring you toward qualifying on the mediums because you've got less potential places to lose out on?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you could probably say that, but I think at this point the drivers are just deciding that they don't want to care about that. I guess I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Amaral again, branch. He's on a lap right now, looking pretty quick, and as you say, I love the entry, the apex speed he carries. Great driving style.
I do like his driving style a lot. It seems like he's really carrying the speed well. We're going to see where he is in terms of sector time right now. He's still up over his time, so he has some time to make up here in these last few corners if he wants to improve.
I think he lost some there in that second sector.
Yeah, he's got less than a tenth only to make up to get onto that pole time, as Wangfi has retired from the session, so his time is set.
He's
if
happy.
Everyone can set this here. He could be on provisional pole. Does not improve though a tenth over his time.
Yeah, you feel like pole is in the hands of Amaral. Well, I mean, you can't count out Pricey, who's only racing as a reserve here tonight, as well. But yeah, obviously Wangfi and Waitsy have decided they're not going to defend their position any further. Let's watch with Quinn now. He's out there just starting his fast lap attempt.
And crucially, like we talked about, Wongfi will be starting on those 2-lap old softs, so we'll see how that ends up playing into his race strategy later on. You know, with the way these tires work on this game, they get hot a lot quicker, which means they wear a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So
2/10 under for Quinn.
You're gonna really have to pay attention to that.
Quinn
in the Williams.
Yeah, Quinn had a little bit of traffic on the way into turn 8. Nicely
like
into the apex. Yeah, it was good.
He looks pretty quick. Former Div 1 driver. I know we talked about him getting an award. I'm not going to say it on stream for his reputation's benefit, but
he will thank you for that.
It's not. We'll just say it's an award that you don't want to win. Nonetheless, though, he's here in Div 2. Which I think
that's
is probably,
a nice sector 2.
Yeah,
3/10 under. So looking to try and get up to P6 kind of region. Amaral pole.
He went for a back-to-back like Wongfi did.
Wow. Are these drivers, Branch? Are they actually relying on a safety car, an early safety car?
I have to think so. As
P6. Yeah. Nearly 4/10 improvement. That was great final lap for Quinn. I mean, he could run another one, but that was good. We just joined Lightning in the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, I have seen a lot of safety cars, obviously, around Bahrain.
Yeah, I noticed we're keeping safety car on standard as opposed to high, so it will be a little bit less frequent. But nonetheless, I wouldn't be surprised to see a safety car. I don't know exactly how aggressive these drivers are, how they're going to be able to handle the new car physics racing around.
Big lap from Lightning. Sorry to interrupt you, but big improvement. 3/4 of a second faster than his previous time, Lightning, and goes up to P3 in the Alfa Romeo. Nice to see a big mix-up of car colours on the starting order.
Yeah, so we got the Ferrari of CDM still on a lap right now. I believe Carrera's on one. Pricey on a lap as well. I think those are the only 3 left. I think everyone else is on.
Go have a look at CDM perhaps, because he's significantly under his time. I think Pricey had time to find after losing a little bit to his own delta in Sector 1. So CDM is coming up to finish his lap now. We've got Amaral on pole position, narrowly by Wongfi. Not much of a gap to slot into if you're going to get up there in the top 3 or 4. Head to the line. And that is pole!
3/10
That is pole for CDMJW.
Fantastic. And I don't think Pricey improved his time. He did not. So now we're just waiting on Carrera coming through the final corner. He was not quicker through the first 2 sectors, so we'll see if he's able to improve it all. And he will not improve. Will stay P10. And
interesting.
That looks like it is our finishing order.
Yeah, I think everyone else is cruising now. So CDM, out of nowhere, grabs that pole at the death of the session, and I hope he's broadcasting his stream and we can get his pole lap on our playlist, because I'd love to see that one again, Branch.
Absolutely. I think he was one of those people that was on mediums. He went out on softs for that last lap, went 13th to 1st with that lap, so really hiding his pace, almost sandbagging, if you will.
And that really has affected those question. We're certainly questioning the strategy of Amaral and Wongfi, double stacking those first laps, and now they've got a faster car on newer tyres in front of them, off the grid.
Yeah, crucially, it looks like Carrera was able, I think, to set a faster lap on different tires, so he will have 1 lap fresher tires.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Still starting in first place though, so he is very vulnerable to those behind him who will be on the 1 stop.
Oh, good session, Branch. Good session.
Absolutely. So, I guess I'll take us through the grid. CDM on pole. Behind him, Amaral in second, Wongfi in third. Lightning in the Alfa Romeo in 4th, Waitsy and Pricey round out the top 6. Palapadur, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in 7th, Quinneth in 8th, Matt in 9th, Carrera in 10th, and then Senna, Pinty, and LOL Fanjo round out our starting grid for this race.
Thanks for that. Carrera's disappointed. Matt is quoting Charles Leclerc. You can only imagine what that quote is.
I think I know.
Yeah. I think Waits is up for this one as well. So, and Pricey surprised me being a little bit lower down, although I know he hasn't been able to get quite the amount of hours in the game as he would like just yet.
Yeah, well, he's got, I think, 29 laps or something like that to figure it out, so...
Yeah. Well, I hope our drivers make it through the first few laps, and we have a good number of cars still running into the second third of the race, because we are starting with a smaller field than perhaps we're used to on Celeritas, and hopefully Division 1 is going to be a little bit busier, and yeah, we're going to see how those strategies play out. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, obviously, dry race. We're in Bahrain. Not expecting any rain here today.
Yeah.
CDM
absolutely.
off the line extremely quickly.
Yeah.
I think so quick, in fact, that the rest of the field was not ready for it.
Absolutely. Okay. Just get my screen sorted out. So
Looks like we have all of the drivers outside of the top 10 starting on those medium tires, basically confirming their one stop.
yeah, and we know that the zero lap age on all the soft runners is not completely true. That will update, I'm sure, once the race gets underway. But we do know, just from memory, that Amaral and Wang Fei have burned through an extra lap, and they were quick laps, at least as far as Amaral's concerned. It wasn't like a warm-up lap on the softs and then a fast lap.
Absolutely, they were two very fast laps, so really took a lot out of those tires. We're going to have to see how long it takes them to pit. I'm expecting lap 4 or 5 for them. But it really also depends on if we get an early safety car. An early safety car would pretty much save them, essentially. They would be able to go in and get on a fresh set of tires. Not to the end of the race, but just, have that fresh set on them.
I'm thinking I can't think of anyone who's in the same car as last year. I think that's kind of cool that it's worked out that way.
I think Lightning might have actually been in the Alfa Romeo, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that.
That's probably a good catch. Yeah.
I am excited to see the new liveries on this game. Obviously, we have Alpine and Aston Martin, who are brand new teams. We also have the new Haas livery, which unfortunate that the American team has a Russian flag on it, but it's still a nice livery nonetheless. The new Williams livery.
It's still red, white, and blue, Branch.
Yeah, that's true. It's in the wrong configuration, but I can live with it.
I like the fact that it sticks out on the track, unlike all the blue teams, which kind of drive me a bit crazy at the moment.
Yeah, it's a little hard to pay attention to the timing sheet when all the teams are blue.
Yeah, it kind of drives me a little bit mad, not going to lie. But then this is our starting grid then, so CDM for the Ferrari, we've got Amaral in the Alpine and Wang Fei in the AlphaTauri, with Lightning just behind in P4. So let's see if qualifying is an accurate predictor of the start of the finishing order, or if people's pace is somewhat different.
See, lights are on.
So it's lights out, it's go, go, go with Celeritas. Looks like a good start from Waitsy in particular, coming around the outside of the AlphaTauri, who I was going to call as having a good launch. Alpine up the inside of the Ferrari, but CDM cuts off the front just in time. Looks like the car's just tiptoeing around. A little bit of contact there between one of the Williamses. We've got some wheel banging.
What is this?
Looks like we've got four wide going into turn 4. Who's going to give up?
Driving down the inside. What is that?
What was Senna?
Senna spun it.
Oh, that looks like both of the Williams are out.
Carnage in the back.
It looks like Senna got into both Williams at the same time, and that's probably not going to be a popular decision of his. I don't know if he misjudged his braking and tried to bail out, in the vein of Lance Storm in Hungary, and just decided to go up the apex. But yeah, it didn't work out, and he's made contact with 2 separate cars. But those Williams only back down in 12th and 13th, back up running, and we're glad to see them back at racing speed now. One of the things that's really troubling our drivers at the moment, Branch, is recovering once they've gone off track.
Yeah, that is a big thing with this game, is that the tires obviously heat up a lot quicker, so when you spin like that, you really have to make sure you're watching those tire temperatures, because you can spin very easily again if you're not careful. So as we're waiting on damage reports, I know Carrera is missing his entire front wing, unfortunately. I think Senna may have some kind of floor damage, because I've noticed he is really struggling to get around right now. See Lightning pits. LOL Fanjo's in the pits.
Yeah, Senna, huge understeer. I hope he can get some form of repair, because it's not visible damage, as you note. So it's not like they can just change the front wing on that McLaren. Quinn's in. Carrera, and as you say, Fanjo and Lightning have both gone in as well. Meanwhile, the race resumes at the front with CDM in first, Amaryl in second, and Waitsy, who had a brilliant start. I was going to say a lightning start, but we can't really say that with the grid that we have at the moment. Great start there from CDM. Waitsy, I think, up to P3 now. He can see the two leaders in front of him, just waiting for the early pit stop guys to sort out on the tower on the left there. But yeah, good start, and we got through the tricky 2-3 concertina, and then it all went wrong in turn 4, Branch.
Yeah, it looked like Senna just kind of dove down the inside there. I'm not really sure what he was doing.
Well, he says he has to retire, and he has indeed retired in the pits. He got the car down to the pits, his brake pedal came loose, and it's broken off. So mechanical failure for Senna, and I don't think that's the first time that kind of problem has beset Senna. Still recovering with from his broken wrist, I think, earlier in the year. So it's not been he's not been blessed with a lot of good luck this year. Yeah.
One thing that I will have to point out with this race, as it pans out, Pinty has had a huge jump. Yeah. Just take a look at position changes. He is up 6 positions already, and on those mediums, so he could be set up as Amaryl has spun and is now getting passed by Pinty right now. So Pinty, as I say, is up to 5th place now. Amaryl doesn't look like he has any damage, but he did spin in his Alpine.
I wonder if it was one of those pesky curbs that got him. Just Pinty just struggling to get the car out of the corner on traction on those medium tyres, and it showed as particularly stark when we were looking from the perspective of Amaryl, who got away really nicely on his soft tyres. A little bit of action going on in P3, 4, 5. Looks like Matt closing in on Wong Fei, who's picking up the pace now. Had a little bit of a tardy beginning to the race, but Wong Fei back into a rhythm, Branch.
Yeah, he's on the back of Waitsy, as we see the first penalty with Palpadour. We should be coming into pit stops fairly soon. I think we got a couple more laps before we see... Oh, Waitsy's in, though. And Wong Fei... Oh, no, he faked him! He faked him into the pits. Wong Fei almost followed him in. And now Wong Fei's got the run on Waitsy.
Oh, was it just an early defense? Yeah.
It may have been, possibly, but Waitsy, great defense right there to keep the position.
It was good. That's going to open up the opportunity to Matt behind, who closes up towards Wong Fei, has a little look in the mirrors, doesn't make it stick, and of course washes out his aero through turn 4.
Yeah, he touched that inside curve, but it sent him wide. We saw Palpadour has retired now, so we have 2 retirees thus far in this race.
That triggered a yellow flag. Let's hope we don't get a caution.
We haven't gotten one yet so far, as we have Amaryl in the pits now. Looks like he needed to go in and change those tires.
Yeah, on those used softs. So lap 4 was the magic number for Amaryl's tires. So maybe... Oh, we got some action down into turn 10.
Great pass, but wait, he's coming back at him.
He's going to try around the outside of 12. That's brave. That's really brave. Oh, gets right into him. Really misjudged the closing speed of the 2 cars there. I'm sure that was inadvertent and not something you see Waitsy do a lot of. But obviously his line into the corner, his setup, he can carry a higher minimum speed as they head down the start-finish straight. Tied together again, Branch.
Yeah, Waitsy has a big run. Wongfi's defending the way Waitsy did the first time, although I think Waitsy's a little bit farther ahead.
Switch back.
Switchback attempted, but he's not going to get quite enough traction. Maybe he can get it through this straight right here. But once again, he has the run on Wongfi. He will take
big defense.
Fake. That was a beautiful switchback right there.
Oh, he just lost the traction.
We're going to go side by side through 6 and 7. I don't know if this is
Waitsy
smart.
rides the curb, and he's out. Yeah,
and
spun around.
I gotta think that's on Waitsy right there. He just took way too much of that curb, went side by side, didn't back out of it, and paid the price. Now he's got Pinty on the back of him, who is still having just a great race.
7 places up so far for Pinty, and as you say, on those medium tyres, so he'll just be sitting there waiting for everybody to head into the pits shortly.
Absolutely, and we also have to mention Matt, who is up into 3rd place right now, 6 positions gained. He's having a great race. Yeah, we have a bit of a battle down in 8th and 9th with Amaral, who pit very early after a spin.
I have to say, great to see Pinty performing so well, Branch. I know he had a fair amount of struggles as your teammate in Formula C in Season 1.
Yeah, it's great to see him up there challenging. I know he has the pace. There was a lot of times where he would make mistakes.
Yeah.
And they would cost him. But right now he's not making any mistakes. He's getting it done, and it's great to see. He has a run on Waitsy. He is going to pick the inside line that has seemed to have been the preferred line, and he's way past Waitsy.
Wow.
No chance. But Waitsy's going to go back at him. Wow, I've not seen that, but it looks like Pinty will get the traction.
I think Pinty would manage this one, although, of course, Waitsy should get DRS again. And gets past on entry. Don't do it again, Waitsy. Pinty, though, gives him a wide berth. I think he saw what happened up the road earlier.
Yeah.
And Pinty doesn't need to be hugely aggressive right now, Branch.
Yeah, especially because Waitsy should be coming in this lap. You can tell that he is really struggling for traction. Pinty is all over the back of him at the moment. So at this point, I think if I were Pinty, I would just maybe sit back, not try and battle. Save the tires as Waitsy is right there going very wide. If Pinty even had to slow down right there, I would have probably taken an inside line to get past, but he is...
Got DRS again for Pinty, but it's difficult to get an overlap down that parallel straight in the middle of the track there to the start-finish straight.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would definitely expect to see at least Waitsy come in. It looks like CDM has gone past. Wongfi is into the pits.
What about Wongfi? Yeah, he's on those older tyres, so he's come in beforehand.
That is going to stay out. An extra lap here. Waitsy is going to decide to stay out.
Stays out, yeah, maybe trying to stretch to a soft-medium strategy, which is going to be difficult. But Pinty is driving past easily, and this time brakes sufficiently late to dissuade, I think, Waitsy from having a go under braking. But does Waitsy come back again into 4? I think he's going to, Branch.
He's going for the inside line still. Can Pinty hold it? Around the outside, they're side by side, and Waitsy holds it out again.
That was beautiful driving.
Waitsy is defending for his life right now, but he gets on the curb. Loses a little bit of traction. Pinty may have a chance. He
had to get right out of that throttle, Branch. Right out of the throttle through there. And Pinty with a switchback.
Great battling right now.
He knows that Waitsy struggles with grip down into 9-10, so he can close right up here. Oh, there he goes again. And maybe he's close enough this time with some ERS to get by and get the inside line. Get it done.
Not quite here.
Really close-up camera work I'm getting on my screen, so it's a little bit hard to judge the distance between the cars.
I gotta say, Pinty is running a really great race right now behind Waitsy. He's struggling to get past him, and I would have to say more on Waitsy as we see the leader CDM is gonna head into the pits.
He heads into the pits, yeah, and we may see the same with Matt as well. Let's just check on Matt. Yeah, he goes in the pits. What about Waitsy?
Deciding.
He does. Pinty just getting that last few meters of draft, and Pinty will go straight into P1 after what, starting
12th, I think. That is correct.
That's working really well for Pinty, and he's now got a beautiful, clear track ahead of him. He can get really into a nice rhythm branch at this stage.
Absolutely. He's got maybe 7 or 8 laps left on those tires if he can manage them correctly. He's not one of those drivers that's super heavy on the tires. He is a quite cautious driver.
Yeah.
We'll see if CDM's able to catch him. He's about 6 seconds back right now. He's been pretty much the quickest car on track, but he does have the same amount of pit stops as Pinty does.
Correct. Sure.
They are essentially battling for position at this point.
I just want to have a look down a bit further down the field. We'll keep an eye on that gap between first and second, but Lightning has got quite close now to Matt as Matt has come out of the pits. So Lightning, I'm sure we'll see Matt drive away to start with on fresh softs, but may be able to stay with him and catch some DRS, or at least catch a little bit of a tow and help his overall race pace. P6 right now for Lightning. It's lap 8 of 29, and your current order is Pinty from CDM, our pole starter. Wong Fei and Pricey in third and fourth. Pricey up to fourth, and it only says 2 places up, Branch, but we know who's back of the grid after the first corner. Turn 4, I should say. Yeah. So he's got a good recovery. He's on softs. He's heading into the pits.
Yeah, he was really struggling there at the end. Matt was right on the back of him now. So we'll see. I'm really interested to see Matt's strategy here, because it seems like he has been the only one to go for the soft strategy coming out of his first pit stop stint. He's obviously going to be a lot faster, but he's likely going to have to go on to hard tires to the end for a while. So we'll see if that affects his pace near the end of the race.
So can he not get a medium stint after the first 2 softs?
He might be able to, but I think he might have to stretch those mediums a little farther than he maybe wants to.
We do have Fanjo and Pricey now have come out on hards, and at racing pace that might work. The trouble is if you get a safety car and you're on hard tires.
Yeah, the safety car will definitely hinder us. We got a great battle for 7th right now with Fanjo, Carrera, and Pricey. Pricey right on the back of Carrera, backs out of it.
Not a passing place really there, is it?
No, absolutely not. But he's coming up to one right now. I think he's gonna
takes to the outside on the way into 9-10. Just distracting Carrera a little bit. Carrera's on those old medium tires now. He does have the benefit of DRS, but I think Pricey will get by pretty soon.
I'm seeing Pricey may be struggling a little bit in the straights here. Definitely faster in the corners, but Carrera pulled away very easily right there in the straight as Matt sets the fastest lap of the race on soft tires, the only driver on soft tires at the moment. Pricey's
Here
right
he
on the back
comes.
of Carrera, has a run.
Yeah, on the sector 3 straight. So on the way into 14, this will mean he gives up DRS, and I wonder if that was a tactical blend out of the throttle from Carrera.
Possibly, but it looks like Pricey was still able to get DRS. Fanjo is weaving. This could be a heavy braking battle going into turn 1.
Oh, lots of braking movements. Amazing driving from Carrera to avoid contact. I take my hat off to Carrera there. That was incredible.
Yeah, I fully expected him to go into the back, as I just noticed CDM is right on the back of Pinty, in fact making the pass as we speak back into first place. So Pinty not really trying to battle all that hard, it seems.
No.
Trying to run his own race.
Pricey, sorry, no, Fanjo. It looked like Pricey had gone off, but actually Fanjo went off parallel to Pricey. I don't know, misjudged braking potentially, and spun off into the background.
He's been struggling on those hards. I think that's the second time he's spun in this stint. So that's hurt his chances, I'd say. I don't know where he started. It looks like he has still gained 4 positions, so most of that due to the DNFs that we've seen.
Pinty has got great straight line speed, Branch, really closing in on CDM down the start-finish straight. So that's obviously working out for him.
Yeah, unfortunately it looks like he just does not have the traction compared to CDM, who has 8-lap fresher medium tires. Fanjo, I think, again has spun, and he spun yet again as I switched back to him. He is really not feeling those hard tires right now. It just seems like he's not trying to let them cool down. He's just not letting them cool down as he spins again, goes into the wall.
And there's that wing's broken into 3 or 4 pieces. He's going to find it even harder to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Now Branch on the way to the pits, and that's a retirement on track. That's not what we want to see.
I don't
want to call that too prematurely, but I'm pretty convinced that was a deliberate action.
Oh, we've got a safety car.
I would dare say after that amount of debris on the track. So that neutralizes the race somewhat. This will be music to Pinty's ears now, Branch.
Absolutely, yes. This is going to help him out tremendously, because I wouldn't be surprised if we saw everyone come in for hards here. I think they could take them to the end of the race from this spot. But we'll see.
Yeah, if everybody puts on hards, they'll all struggle the same amount. But yeah, big call if you're the first one to make that decision. CDM has gone through. He's only on 2 lap mediums. But yeah, nice cheap pit stop for Pinty. So what's his tyre choice going to be as Matt comes in behind him? I wonder if Lightning will as well.
Lightning will come in. So that's going to help Pinty out even more. Wongfi, the only man to jump Pinty at the moment.
Right, and we may see Carrera and Quinn come in as well.
Waitsy is coming in.
Get there.
Pricey coming around the last corner right now. He's already on hard tires. He is going to continue try and get track position. He'll gain a few positions.
Way too early to be able to bring something like mediums to the end of the race at this point. So yeah, we have a caution period. We have the safety car caused by a retirement on track of Fanjo, and on lap 11 we have CDM in the lead. Recently stopped for tyres, as did Wongfi. So these guys are on similar age medium tyres. Everybody else now on the hard tyres. So P3 is Pinty, who started right near the back. Matt in P4, and Pricey P5, Lightning in 6th, Waitsy in 7th, and then we have Carrera and Quinn. Quinn pitting now as well for those hard tyres. So definitely the bulk of the field pitted to the end now, Branch.
Yeah, this is interesting strategy now for the top two, as they're both on worn mediums. They will get away fairly quickly compared to the rest of the field, but as this race progresses, they're going to have to pit, and I have to think that Pinty may be in for a great finish here.
He is going to have a little bit of battling to do, because he's got some fast drivers near him now, and he didn't have that earlier on. It was sort of one at a time, and people pitting helpfully for him. He's now got Matt, and he will have Pricey pretty close behind. So different elements to consider for Pinty's race pace, but yeah, it'd be great to see Pinty get up there on the podium. I guess, you know, we have seen safety cars breeding safety cars, so it could be that CDM and Wongfi decide to change their mind and pit if we get another one. But yeah, it's definitely not advantage to the top two at this point.
Yeah, this I was really surprised that CDM didn't go in. I think he would have come out in first, or he would have come out in second, because Wongfi would have gone ahead. But
yeah,
I think him being in second on those hard tires probably would have been a better position for him than first on the worn mediums that he's on right now, because at least in my race sims that I've done, the mediums tend to last about 11 to 12 laps before they get to about 50%, which is where they start to really drop off. So yeah, just they're already on 4 or 5 laps, so I would not be surprised if they had to pit by lap 20, 21. Obviously this safety car will help them with their tire wear, but that's still not going to get them to the end.
But they could potentially then put mediums on. Hope the field spreads a little bit and put a second set of mediums on.
Yeah, I think that would have to be the strategy here. Even maybe because of the safety car, we could see them try and go to lap 22, 23 and put on a new set of softs if they have one.
Yeah, those top two don't need to be doing much in the way of tyre warming, especially while the lights are on the safety car, Branch.
Yeah, we still have Quineth, who is catching up to the back of the field fairly quickly. I think this will be the last lap of the safety car. Quinn, who was fairly far back at the beginning of the safety car, is just a straight away now as we head into the third sector. So I
understand it's actually the third time that that Senna's had brake failure. and his wrist is really bad. He may have to go and get a cast put back on his wrist, he's saying. So yeah, not good news. I wonder if he's just been driving a little bit too hard, gripping that steering wheel hard and wrenching it around. Needs to turn the force feedback down and treat that wrist carefully. But the driver's preparing for a restart now.
Sorry, Doc, I have racist.
Can you fuse my hand in the cast in a steering position and allow me the ability to still shift gears? I think that's what he needs to say.
Full body cast, that's all he needs.
But it's now with CDM, who gets away. It's a strange place to start, and it worked for him. The unexpected is what seems to do it for our drivers, as Pinty is swamped, absolutely swamped. Yeah, Pricey in the middle of two cars. That's a risky place to put yourself. Pinty's going to defend the inside, drive him out, but Pricey gets the elbows out on the way through three.
Move.
Yeah.
That's both of them. My goodness, that was a great move by him.
Matt just watching and waiting, and there is room on the outside of turn 4 as long as you're not putting the power down on the curb, and he gets past Pricey. Pricey with a move on Pinty, and Matt on a move on them both. Lightning now, the next one in Pinty's mirrors. And like I say, I hadn't seen Pinty do a great deal of track battling through the previous season.
He's going at him right now.
He is. But gets up the inside, waits, he almost crashing into the back of them, but a great undercut there from Lightning. What a switchback.
Yeah, and we're starting to see, I think, Pinty struggling to get these tires into the window he needs to get them in. He is getting absolutely swamped right now.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could see tyre condition or temperatures on Pinty's car, because I wonder if you're right, and that is it. With Waitsy going up the inside, he's tried this before, going up the inside of 13, straddles the curb and lives to fight another day, but he's certainly cost him in the previous laps of this race.
No DRS quite yet. I think we have one more lap before it's enabled. But
yeah, so it's all about the toe now down the start-finish straight.
Yeah, and the front two are really pulling away right now as we see Matt and Pricey once again battling. Pricey has the position but goes a little bit deep. Matt trying to switch back.
Waitsy got Pinty into turn 1 as well. Let's go back to Matt and Pricey. These guys, I don't know, the body language of these cars, Branch. Have we got trouble brewing between Matt and Pricey?
Yeah, they are getting extremely aggressive on track. They don't want to give up the position to each other. They seem like they're at about the same pace, which in a track like Bahrain needs a lot of position switching.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a matter of time as we see Lightning right next to Matt. As it seemed like Matt had a bad exit. Lightning on the outside.
Oh, Matt really leaning on Lightning through there, yeah. But Lightning will get the favourable traction zone and drive and racing line.
I gotta say, Lightning is getting amazing traction out of that turn 10 corner. I've seen him do it twice, once on Pinty and now again on Matt.
How is he doing that? Is that just pure setup, ride height, or is it just about brake bias on the way in?
I'd have to think it's either about brake bias or he's just getting on the power earlier than they are. Either way, he obviously has a traction advantage over at least the cars that he's passed already.
Is that you politely saying he may be running traction control?
No, I don't think so. I think he's running traction control off, but he definitely has a lot of traction.
Yeah. And it is well controlled, shall we say. But yeah, there's a little bit of a gap now between those cars right now. Looks like Carrera closing on Pinty. Oh, it's a crying shame what's happening to Pinty at the moment. Down towards the back of the grid. It looks like Lightning on Pricey. Gets up the inside.
Going a bit wide.
These are two admins.
Pushing him out
wow,
wide.
they really drove him off.
And I don't know how Price is going to feel about that one.
No, especially as he's swamped by Matt as well because of the compromised line. So, round 3 between Matt and Pricey. Just looks like Price is driving a little bit ragged. Maybe cold tyres, dirty tyres, or just a little bit of red mist going on. Lightning still uncharacteristically struggling out of turn 10 as Matt gets a great run on him. Presumably used a bit of VRS to get that overlap and gets the move done.
Yeah,
Lightning's fighting hard.
Battle going on right now.
This really is, isn't it?
Price is just watching from the back. hoping to maybe get his revenge on Lightning.
Yeah. Lightning did run Pricey out of the exit of 4 quite aggressively.
Waitsy seems to have joined now. He's going to be in DRS range. We could see a very heavy braking battle going on here into turn 1. Matt is a sitting duck at this point. He's regenning as well, so that's going to make him extra slow.
Pricey makes a look.
Dive bomb there.
Yeah, no, nobody actually committing to a move, waiting for another opportunity, but the cars just getting ever closer to each other. And I really am thinking that we're headed towards another issue. Lightning on the outside of 4 this time.
Oh, Matt, getting
was
really
that wheel
sideways.
Was that a little bit of contact?
It was, but I think Matt hit the inside curb that was really high.
Yeah.
It bounced him outside and tapped the Lightning. I don't think that was necessarily any aggressive driving, as Matt really misses his braking point.
Ooh, dirty tyres. Right, I think dirty tyres there, Branch, after being offline.
Yeah, and he's going to have to make sure he doesn't break into the back of Waitsy here. As with all of this battle.
Oh, Lightning and Pricey round.
Lightning and Pricey have a problem.
Well, certainly Lightning sent around whether Pricey ran into him because he was turning around or helped him along the way. I'm afraid I didn't catch, but what I did see is Lightning turning the wrong direction. Hopefully still running. He's back. He's back on racing speed, and he's got it all to do again, Branch. Lots of action going on still with 2 Williams cars together now, but I think you might be right. Pricey looking like he's got a little bit of damage as Quinn goes by.
Yeah,
Pricey in the
pits.
pits
now. So that must have been damage somewhere. It looked like at first that he was letting him by. I think that confirms it right there as he dives into the pits.
But presumably not repairable damage.
I would have to think. I didn't see anything on the front wing, and that is really the only damage that can be repaired in a pit stop. So maybe underbody or floor damage, which would be really unfortunate for Pricey, but he's going on to mediums to try and have a pace advantage as...
well, good time. Good time to get on mediums with 11 laps to go. Wang Fee's caught right up with CDM. While we've been watching that midfield battle, Wang Fee has got really nice and close now, so he's piling the pressure on CDM. I wonder if Wang Fee's reserved his tyres a little bit better, but it's nearing that point where these front 2 will have to pit.
Yeah, I would have to think it's going to be 2 or 3 more laps before they are into the pits.
I know they've done a lap with under the safety car, Branch, but I presume they couldn't stretch these to run softs at the end.
Maybe, but it would definitely be a stretch.
Yeah.
And a stretch I don't know if they're willing to make. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go in now for the mediums, because 11 laps is about the normal time of CDM. Braking to the inside, he will not be going though, just trying to break the toe, it seems. Wang Fee does have DRS.
Ooh, Pinty catches a penalty, and we've been pretty light on penalties tonight, considering the open nature of the Bahrain circuit. We've actually had some very well-behaved drivers with track limits.
It's been good to see. Yeah, Wang Fee just does not seem to have very much straight-line speed compared to CDM. I have to think that's just due to a more downforce heavy setup.
But he's really close.
Yeah, he's definitely closing in the corners, but on the straights he just can't seem to get close enough to make a pass. But I can tell CDM, it looks like, has not a lot of ERS left, as I confirm that. He's on 16% to Wang Fee's 50.
So Wang Fee doing a good job on management of that energy. He has the advantage now, Branch. Doesn't he, to do the opposite of CDM as he heads in the pits, or not?
I would have to think it wouldn't be a terrible idea to maybe try and overcut on CDM.
Yeah.
But
I don't think CDM is able to drive a lot faster than he is doing right at this moment. So I think Wang Fee, the correct call here would be do the opposite of what he sees CDM doing. I think Justin's here in the chat. Hey to Justin. Says his wheel broke 2 hours before the release of F1 2021. No, Wang Fee stays out, so hands the advantage back to CDM slightly here in terms of the decision making. Oh, but he's very close.
Yeah, he's getting close. I wonder if he's going to be able to make a pass here, as CDM had to brake a little bit there. but it looks like Wongfi's just not getting the traction out of the corners that CDM is getting.
7 laps on the hard tyres for the drivers that stopped during the safety car. Pricey having made a decision after that damage to head into the pits and get fresh mediums to the end. So a big batch of hard tyre drivers who will be waiting for the front 2 to pit to be released. But as you say, Waitsy somehow has got back up to P3 with Matt just behind him. Waitsy might be eyeing up the lead of the race in a couple of laps' time here, Branch.
Yeah, he's definitely in that pit stop window. I guess the question is how much pace will CDM and Wongfi have over the rest of the field? Obviously, they will be on fresh mediums whenever they pit, or fresh softs, depending on how long they are able to go.
Right.
Compared to the worn hards that the rest of the field will be on, aside from Pricey, who I don't think will be a factor in the battle between the top 2 guys.
Well, with Pinty 16 seconds off Lightning and Pricey a further 6, yeah, it'd be quite a job if Pricey can get back up here. As we see Matt continue to spend his ERS in the hunt for Pricey, who is a lot more reserved on the energy deployment. Oh, so they've pitted at the same time. I do wonder if Wongfi might regret that. So Matt attacking Waitsy here, but not close enough. Again, we've got Quinn has got up to P3 with Carrera behind him now. I think Carrera's all over the back of him.
Both CDM and Wongfi are both onto soft tires. I don't know if they're going to be able to last 8 laps like they think they will.
But they're going to be quick when they come out relative to these worn hard tire drivers.
Yeah, but they're going to have to be really careful. They can't be too quick because they can take too much out of their tires and then end up with a puncture at the end of the race.
But you know, in terms of wanting entertainment, I'm kind of pleased about that position. Yeah, Pinty goes for subs as well. Their Branch.
Yeah, he was really struggling on those hards. Just had absolutely no pace, so he's just trying to, I assume, get out there and set some fast laps.
Yeah. Carrera, the same gap to the car in front as Matt has to the lead. Matt, though, with that penalty, so that's going to start playing into Waits' driving style. I would have thought by now he knows that he can just back Matt up ever so gently through the apexes and not worry too much if Matt does throw one down the inside towards the end of the race, because he has a 3-second advantage over him.
Yeah, that will definitely help out. Keeping an eye on the gap. Looks like Wongfi has lost a couple of seconds to CDM. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I wonder, maybe he suffered an issue in the pits.
Carrera and Quinneth are pretty close to each other. Looks like Carrera made a dive on Quinn. Quinn is regenning down this straight. It looks like Carrera is going to be close enough to make a move here. It definitely looks like he is the faster car at the moment.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got Matt hounding Waitsy and Carrera doing the same to Quinn. It's kind of hard to know who to be watching.
Yeah.
I think Carrera's a little bit closer, but the Matt Waitsy battle is for the lead, so
yeah. Right, it's pretty
I've got a job.
Depending on the traction, I don't know. It didn't seem like he got very good traction out of there compared to Quinneth. He did lose a lot of time.
And there's Quinn really defending pretty hard down the back straight as they head into this high downforce section. You can't afford to get too close to the car in front through this section.
Yeah, I was just about to mention, I heard Carrera lifting through that.
Have a look at Matt though, heading into turn 14, Branch. Hate to cut you off, but man, he was almost pushing Waitsy down that straight and didn't want to make an attempt.
Yeah, he's got it right here, although we've seen Waitsy come back at other drivers after the straight, so we'll see what Matt does here.
Oh, Matt's not giving him that room that other drivers have done. So Matt takes the inside with Waitsy trying to get a nicer switch back, but it looks like Matt's got all the grip in the world.
Waitsy's got the run still. He's going to choose the inside line.
He loves that. He loves that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's making it work. Great job by him. I don't know what happened with Quinn, but it looks like he has lost out somehow. He is down into 7th place. behind both of the soft tire runners in CDM and Wongfi.
Well, I do hope that Quinn can finish this race out, but yeah, he was looking at a potential podium for a while there. Now down to 7th on the worst tyres on the grid, so he may head into the pits. Matt back on the attack, and Lightning alone in P3. How did Lightning jump Carrera and Quinn? There must have been some sort of issue or contact.
I would have to think it looks like CDM is past Carrera now on the soft tires. Carrera almost letting him through, it looked like. Not knowing that it's not his battle. Not wanting to lose too much time.
Yeah, Carrera's got bags of experience in these situations, so he knows about race management.
After all, Carrera is a race winner in Division 2 last season, so he's got that experience.
He is, and I must mention Lightning having won this week's practice event as well. He was very underconfident going into Season 2, but he is showing very well at the moment.
Matt and Waitsy are really pushing it right now.
Waitsy's holding that inside line, you see, again.
He's absolutely defending like a champ right now. Really wanting this race win. And I'm really excited because I think CDM may be able to catch them by the end of this race, possibly. He's pretty quick.
Yeah. So let's just see who's got the fastest lap right now. It's actually with Pinty, who's put one in fresh out of the pits.
Good job for him.
Yeah. Has anyone? FedEx asks, has anybody done soft to medium? I believe I think the safety cars really got in the way of judging that well.
Yeah.
So no, nobody's done a one stop soft to medium, but whether they would have done or not, I have a feeling maybe a couple of cars might have tried that had there not been a really convenient safety car.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I just saw Lightning make a big mistake coming out of turn, I think it was 12 or 13 actually.
All on his own.
Lost him a bit of a second, just a snap of oversteer. He had to go wide to correct it. But
that's not going to help him when CDM is closing with 4 laps to go. CDM has a delta of 7 seconds to the leader. So we'll see if he can get up onto the podium. I think the lead might be out of reach.
Yeah, I'd have to think at this point. It seems like that safety car choice that they made to stay out on those mediums may have been the wrong choice.
But Matt and Waitsy resume, or continue I should say, it's never really stopped, their battle for the lead. Bear in mind though that 3-second penalty for Matt, and that has to be what our Lightning needs to aim for now. He needs to hope that Waitsy and Matt slow each other down and Lightning can get within that 3-second delta to Matt.
Yeah, it's only a 5 tenths or 4 tenths now. So Lightning just needing to get a little bit closer. He's on similar tires to them.
Here comes Matt though. Oh,
that was interesting. He actually let go of the throttle there at the end of the straight, almost as if he didn't want to try and attack Waitsy there. Maybe just not wanting to get too close. He's got.
I get a good tire performance graphic here, which shows us that there is virtually zero difference between the tires of Matt and Waitsy and their management up to this point of the race.
I am not surprised as Carrera gets
quite heavily leaning on the fronts though, and Waitsy pits. No. Oh, he dummied even me on that one. He went right over into the side of the track, presumably in defence of the toe from Matt. I thought for a second he was heading in.
We've been seeing a lot of drivers do that, and I also have to mention that it looks like Wongfi is the faster of the 2 soft runners right now. He set the fastest lap earlier. He is on the back of CDM now. And yeah, as you mentioned earlier, it looks like CDM just does not have the pace to keep up with these guys.
It seems to me that CDM has some improvement to make, and I say this as someone who can't drive well at all, but from the perspective of being able to look at the race from the helicopter view, CDM has a little job to do in terms of making the tyres last the full length of the stint.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. He just not great tire strategy by him, or Wongfi necessarily. Wongfi seems to have a little bit more life in those tires at the moment.
I think it's less about strategy, Branch, and more about just simple driving style, or taking too much out of them at the start of the stint. I mean, that does pertain to knowing your strategy and your own tyre management, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. You know, if you take too much out of the tires, especially in this game, you're gonna pay for it at the end of the stint.
Looks like Waits has just got a little bit of pace here. Just found a little bit of pace relative to Matt. He's saving that that ERS again a little bit better than Matt. Matt down to 3% with 3 laps to run. Here comes Wong Fei on CDM branch, and
Both
looks like he's got it done.
Out of the ERS.
Yeah. But Wong Fei away now from CDM. Will he be able to accelerate towards Lightning, or will he just pull CDM with him under DRS? We'll see how the tyres hold through this fast sector. Using a little bit of curb, it's a dangerous game on old tyres that you want softs to reach the end, and Lightning will now start to look in his mirrors branch.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if we're going to start to see any fuel problems come into play. Obviously, we got the safety car, which if anyone underfueled, that helps them out a lot. But if they didn't underfuel enough, or if they underfueled too much,
yeah,
then we may start to see some people needing to lift and coast in short shift to make it to the end of this race.
A real race divided in two right now, with 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th having a big difference to the top 5. Big delta there between 5th and 6th. I think that's a lot to do with their current tyre strategy. Let's take a quick look. They've all gone onto soft share at the end to get that fastest lap, or not have to live with the hards to the end. We have Wong Fei attacking Lightning, and this is potentially for P2 of the finishing order. This is potentially second place going for Lightning as he loses out to Wong Fei into turn 1. He needs to still stay within 3 seconds of Matt.
Yeah, but he's got CDM on the back of him right now. Not close enough yet to make a move. They're all out of ERS at the moment, so it's just a battle of on-track experience. But CDM has the
he has to
side by side, and he spins the same way Waitsy did earlier in the race, and CDM has spun it.
That for me was a little bit of lack of patience. Lightning was always going to be struggling. Do you agree?
Yeah, he needs to wait in that scenario. With a whole lap left, he obviously had the pace advantage. He should have just backed out of that.
Yeah, we're not on the last lap. There is time to make these moves. Matt is 0.5 away from the lead, but really 3.5 seconds away from the lead at the moment, with Wong Fei closing in, and Lightning trying to hold on to that podium, and I hope he can. Matt catches another penalty.
Oh, that's going to really hurt, because that'll definitely put Lightning into that podium place. Wong Fei has a lot of pace as well. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to battle for the lead here at the end of this race. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's a big ask, because there's only one full lap left to run as Waitsy crosses the line to start the final lap.
Not only that, but CDM has spun again. He's really struggling on those soft tires now.
One of those rejoining issues potentially for CDM. Burnt out the soft tires. I wonder if he'll pit just to get the car to the end. He's got a bit of a window to make that decision if he wants to. No!
That is a really rough penalty to take here. Let's see if Wong Fei is going to try and battle it all. Matt going wide again.
That's going to really hurt. That's going to really hurt Lightning as he catches that penalty on the last lap. But yeah, Wong Fei looking racy. His battle isn't, of course, with Matt, but he wants that win.
Yeah, I don't know if he might be a little bit too far back here. But unless he's gonna give it his all, Waitsy will have no DRS.
Remember that Waitsy is racing as a reserve here, so a great opportunity for a bit of tyre rubbing between Wong Fei and Matt. Yeah, but Wong Fei takes the second place, and he will head on up towards Waitsy towards the end. I think Lightning will still get on the podium and do well in the championship as we finish out race 1 of the of this season 2 of Celeritas. Matt's front tyres are gone, but Waitsy guest driving tonight for work reasons, but Waitsy is going to take a fantastic win in Bahrain. Wong Fei second. Lightning is going to get that third place, crucially, from Matt, who is demoted to 4th. CDM, hard-fought race, but in the end, a spin on the penultimate lap and a rejoin problem demotes CDM, who had the pole position. CDM will cross the line and get 5th place tonight. Carrera fan now will be quite a way back as he's...
Back, we have both Williams battling each other coming into the last corner. They are side by side. Quineth is pushed wide, and it looks like Pricey will take the position right at the end.
Yeah, not exactly playing nicely. Pricey, not a permanent Williams team member, and perhaps not doing the favours for Quinn. And I have to say, pretty sad to see, but I'm glad to see Pinty get to the end, but I'm pretty sad to see him finish out the race at the tail of the grid there in 9th place after running in P1 for so long. It just didn't work out in the end. But quite a good race there to start off our season, with Matt taking driver of the day. Interesting to get that rating. I guess that was places made from starting position. But here's your podium. One of the first beards on the podium, potentially since Nick Heidfeld. And takes the win.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. That was a great race. We got to see a lot. We got to see a lot of the new game physics coming into play, I should say. Drivers struggling on the curbs, drivers just being a little bit too aggressive and spinning.
Maybe Branch, if you could take us through the finishing order and then invite the podium. And if you want to stick around to ask questions, please do. But if you'd rather go and get some practice in, we understand you're about to head up your first race shortly.
Yeah. So the finishing order we have is Waitsy obviously taking the win, the reserve driver, Wang Fei in 2nd, Lightning in 3rd to round up the podium, Matt in 4th, CDM, our pole sitter, falling down to 5th, Carrera in 6th. Pricey in 7th, Quineth in 8th, and Pinty rounding out the finishers of this race in 9th. Then we have El Fanjo, Amaral, Palpador, and Senna, who were the DNFs of this one.
Thank you.
So,
I'd love to talk to Waitsy, Wang Fei, and Lightning if we can get the chance. Fastest lap for Wang Fei, so that's pretty cool for him. Gets an extra point for that one. And a really intriguing beginning to Season 2 of Division 2. Remember, anyone watching our stream, that we will be back very shortly for an 8 o'clock start. Just time to get a snack or some refreshment before you rejoin us for an 8 p.m. start, UK time that is, so 35 minutes from now for our Division 1 race, which we hope to see Branch doing as well as everyone's talking up your chances, Branch.
Do that. That puts a lot of pressure on me, but I guess I'll take the compliments as they come.
Have we had anybody join just yet?
Not yet. I'm sending the invites out as we speak.
Thank you. Monarch asks about Formula C. Monarch, a decision hasn't been taken about Formula C just yet. I guess, well, partly a decision's been taken to rest Formula C for this season. But you know, if you do want to resume that battle, we'd love to have that series back if it can fit with everyone's schedule. So hang tight, and we'll see if we can't get you guys back. It looks like Lightning has joined the party already.
Yeah, we have Lightning.
Oh, and our winner has joined. I'll go to our winner first, do him that honour. Waitsy, congratulations, a cracking win there.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah, it was a very fun race to be in. I wasn't expecting a call. It was a very last-minute decision to jump in. So, yeah, no practice. I did one lap in quali. Thought, yeah, that'll do, and then just went with it through the race and just ended up. Yeah, it was. I can thoroughly say I enjoyed that, especially the last 10, 12 laps. I think it was with Matt. That was a really good little battle. I enjoyed that.
No, it looked amazing. If I can sum up your race in a very unfair way, it was amazing start, spin, win.
Yeah, that tends to be how I win races lately. But yeah, it's just I'm just kind of happy I didn't spin on the hards, to be honest. I was expecting it, but when the safety car came out, it kind of forced everyone's hand onto the hards except the two front runners. So
And how did
if there was
the Division 2 McLaren feel out there?
honestly, it didn't feel too bad.
Yeah.
I got some setup problems for sure. I need to tinker around with the rear wing and things like that. But apart from that, yeah, it was actually really enjoyable race to be involved in. From, like you say, from the good start to the daft spin to the win. What can I say?
You look racy out there. Branch, any questions for Waitsy?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you could maybe go a little bit more in depth on your spin. Obviously, it ended up not affecting your race too much, but
yeah, sure. It was a slight bit of naivety on my part, and basically I didn't expect room to be left going into the corner, so I cut the corner obviously onto the curb, and the room wasn't really given, so I ended up making contact and spinning it round. So if I'd have maybe stuck to my guns a little bit more, I'd have had to have pushed him wide, but yeah, kind of a bit of naivety on my part, but like you said, it didn't really affect my race overall. But, we live and learn, right?
Absolutely. And I guess if it helps at all, you weren't the only one who made that exact same mistake at that exact same corner during this race.
Yeah?
So,
it was popular.
Yeah,
Okay.
CDM also made that mistake at the end.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now.
No, I see. I figured the McLaren engineers in Division 2 are doing an amazing job because it was the car of the field last season for Ben and Dittel, and you sit in it as a guest and take the win immediately.
And take it to the win. Yeah, it's a good car, man. It's a very good car. The mechanics in my first pit stop even changed my front wing when I wasn't aware I had damage. So they know more than I do. Clearly, they must have seen something
hate that, haven't you? You've got to hate
on the
that.
settings, But no, it was a really good one to be involved in, guys. So thank you for the invite.
No, well, it was great to watch you. A very entertaining race. Congratulations on the win. Really, really
Appreciate
good. And stop by whenever you get the chance, of course.
Will do, guys. Thank you very much.
Wong Fei, I believe you've joined us. Congratulations. Second place looked really good for you.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Top of the standings, I think. So, yeah. Well, it's not 25 points, but I was close enough, I guess. I did have the fastest lap, so
you did.
I guess I did have a terrible start, but I don't know. I managed to climb back up, and I'm still thinking of what could have happened if I went into the pits when the safety car came out. But
right.
I was actually just about to ask you about that. What made the decision for you to stay out on those medium tires with CDM?
I just wanted to stay with CD. I'm just gonna call him. I'm too lazy to say his whole name.
Yeah.
I was just trying to stay with him, and kind of regret it after. But I mean, what can you do? So I went in the soft. I thought maybe I have a chance, and then I got a little help from a career fan. So he gave me the DRS so I can catch up to him, and then I overtook him. Then I think there was a crash ahead of us. Like it was somewhere around the end of the race.
We saw some interesting moves from you today, and it looked like you were locked together with CDM for the bulk of the race. But decision to start the race on 2-lap-old softs, did that affect your strategy?
Not really. I mean, I thought that I think I did not really. I don't really know.
We were dying for you to do the opposite of CDM when you were on kind of 11 or 12 lap old mediums and he was on a lap younger. We were dying for you to either try the overcut or the undercut, but you went in straight behind him. Did you wait too long and end up boxed into that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to pit ahead of him because I thought, these tires are like looking really bad. So I went in, and when I went out, I felt really comfortable with the tires. So I thought I maybe gain maybe a second or two. But I think I was a little too overconfident because I was almost exactly 5 seconds behind him after he went in as well. So
so no issues actually in the pits, but you did lose out big time relative to his
Yeah,
pit
when I
stop.
pitted with him. Yeah.
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 Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, it all worked out really well, and the fastest lap at the end was that set on the soft tyres.
Yeah, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh well, congratulations! You came pretty close to the win at the end there, but it looked like Matt was kind of in your way with a penalty that you wanted to get on the back of weights if you could.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really bother me too much because I thought, well, we're almost at the end, and there's almost no way for me to overtake Waitsy in a way. So I
Yeah.
thought, well, I'll
But-
just not spin or something, because that was the main goal probably.
Excellent. Congratulations and well driven. Thanks, 1V. Lightning, you're making a habit of these podiums.
Lightning.
Had my mic muted, sorry.
No.
And it is set to share this time, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's 2 podiums in a week for you at Celeritas.
Yeah. It wasn't a very good race for me.
What went wrong?
Well, everything.
Okay.
I mean, I could have gone 8/10 faster in qualifying, but I don't know what happened. I messed up my lap completely. And then I had damage on the first lap, pit for mediums, and then there's a safety car for the hards. Half spun, but caught it, and then got tagged, so I completely spun around and lost about 7 seconds. That meant that I got caught by the soft tyre running.
Was that with Pricey? Because I remember
Yes.
we remember seeing you spinning. Okay, yeah, we remember seeing you spinning, but we didn't quite get to see the
I had
actual
some
incidents.
oversteer, but I managed to catch it, and then I got tagged on the rear. Nothing anybody could do about it, but yeah, bad luck.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I have to
I
say,
was following
Lightning, if that's a bad race for you, look out Division 2 when you have a good race.
Well, I have lots of pace at Bahrain, but I didn't maximise, so that's a shame.
Branch particularly picked out that you were looking amazing out of turn 10.
Turn 10.
So the
That's
traction out of turn 10, the really difficult.
Ah, yeah. It was pretty good, yeah. I was surprised that I got the power down so early. But there was 2 occasions where I did it a little bit too eager, which caused a few moments.
I guess
few
question for
moments.
a question for everybody really, starting with Lightning. Would you make any setup changes after doing a race around the track now, or are you happy where you started?
I'm pretty happy with my setup. I did like
Sweet.
3 50% races, and this setup, I really like it.
Awesome.
So, yeah. I don't think I would change anything.
Waitsy?
Personally, I think I need to do a little bit more work on setup. I find that the rear end of the car is still a bit too twitchy. I don't know if that's just with me having a slightly over-aggressive trigger finger, but yeah, just sometimes it feels like the back end's a bit too wishy-washy at the moment. So I think I had a couple of moments during that race there where I did almost put it in a wall. So yeah, I think I've got to do a little bit of work. So yeah.
Are you still
there's
running
always room
Wake
for
as a
improvement.
legacy from last season's setup, or are you a bit more stable front to rear ride heights?
A bit more stable
Yeah.
in terms of ride heights and things. But there's always room for improvement. It just it depends on how much time you can physically get into the game and get into practice, etc. So you can learn that the ultimate setup and how it feels for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the more time you can put into it, the better your setup's going to be and the better your overall seasons are going to be.
Yeah, agreed. What about you, Wang Fei? You happy?
Yes.
Excellent.
Could've got better.
Well,
We've got
keeping,
Kimmy.
yeah, Wang Fei keeping his cards close to his chest about setup there, and I don't blame him for that. But it's definitely a talking point for a lot of drivers at the moment. Well, that was an absolute cracker. We enjoyed that one, and if you enjoyed that with us, you can join us again in 24 minutes for Division 1's race. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what the Division 1 drivers can do, not least, of course, involving Branch. So we'll let you get going and get some laps in Branch.
Just don't run into me, please, anyone. who's listening. Just I want to have a clean race today. All right, I'm gonna go get some laps in, but thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to get a beverage and suggest everybody else does the same. We look forward to seeing you in a few minutes, and if you want to watch Division 2 again at the same time next week, 6 p.m. UK for Race 2. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you all on the next race day.